birth abortion ban of 2003, which prohibits abortion providers from murdering a child after it is born. 3 different representatives asked you if you would uphold that law, to which you outright lied to them, saying there was no law that prohibited partial birth abortion. And then you dodged the following questions. Your failure to uphold this law is made more drastic by the fact that not only do you know that this law exists, you voted against it as a member of Congress in 2003. When myself and 157 other members of Congress wrote you a letter about this issue in July of 2021, you showed contempt for every single member when you sent a reply, which was only 2 sentences long and refused to acknowledge either the law or the questions at hand. So now I'm going to ask you, do you concede that partial birth abortion as defined in 18 U.S. Code Section 1531 is illegal and punishable by fine, imprisonment, or both?
Congressman, I'll try to respond to this as best I can, as I did before, and that's to say to you that having been a former Attorney General, I know how important it is to not only follow the law, but enforce it. As Secretary of HHS, I will not only comply with the law, but enforce it. And when it comes to issues that sometimes we hold different and sometimes very deeply held beliefs, I will respect where people's opinion is, but my job is to make sure I'm enforcing the law.
Do you concede that partial birth abortion is illegal per the law?
Under the Supreme Court decision in Roe versus Wade, women have reproductive rights that they are entitled to enforce and that they are entitled to have the government respect. I will do everything I can to make sure a woman's rights in reproductive care are defended.
So I take that as a no. You don't concede that that is the law.
I gave you the answer.
18 U.S. Code 1531, it seems pretty clear. You voted against it. You're well aware of the law, so you don't concede that partial birth abortion is illegal.
As I said, I understand that there are differences of opinion.
It's a simple question. Will you commit as Secretary of the HHS to ensure that the department acts in accordance with the Supreme Court decision to uphold the ban on partial birth abortions decided in Gonzalez versus Carhart?
I am obligated as the Secretary of Health and Human Services to make sure that I am complying with the law, and that's what we will do.
Will you commit as the Secretary of HHS to full oversight of HHS grant programs to ensure no grantees who violate 18 U.S. Code Section 1531 continue to receive HHS funding?
We will do everything we can to make sure we do vigorous oversight over all the programs that are under the jurisdiction of HHS.
Last year, the University of Pittsburgh implied that one of its federally funded research projects utilized organs that might have been extracted from live fetuses. Secretary Becerra, will HHS investigate the University of Pittsburgh's grotesque violation of the partial birth abortion ban?
Congressman, we know that there are practices and standards that must be followed when it comes to fetal tissue, and we will make sure we do everything we can to make sure those practices and standards are followed.
So you just told me you're going to follow the law, but why haven't we yet investigated this clear violation of the law?
You're more than welcome to submit to us any information you have on any potential violation of the law, and we will definitely make sure that we look into it.
Secretary, 157 of us sent you a letter and you gave us a non-response, so how can we be sure that you will look into this clear violation of the law?
I responded to your letter, Congressman, and we will always respond to your letters as best we can.
On October 4, 2021, the Department of Health and Human Services issued a final rule that allows Title X family planning funding to flow to organizations that provide elective abortion. This decision overturned a rule issued by President Trump known as the Protect Life Rule. According to a 2021 GAO report, between 2016 and 18, before the Protect Life Rule was established, Title X funds were Planned Parenthood's second largest federal funding stream at $182 million, approximately $60 million each year. Secretary Becerra, do you believe that federal taxpayer dollars should be used to fund abortion? Yes or no?
Congressman, I know this issue well. I worked it when I was the Attorney General. I want to make sure that the rights of women were protected and the rights of families to receive family practice services were protected.
But should taxpayers pay for it?
The taxpayers have provided money for family planning. We make sure that that's...
Should taxpayers pay for abortions?
The taxpayer money is being used the way it should be lawfully.
Simple question, yes or no. Should taxpayer dollars be used to pay for abortions?
I think I'm responding to your question, Congressman, by telling you that we use Title X funds the way we're allowed to under the law.
I yield back.
Thank you. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Morelli.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing.